Skinwalker Road, the shape that hunts the night. There are roads built to connect towns, and there are roads built to avoid something waiting in the dark. In Utah, there is a highway with no official warning signs, but everyone who lives nearby knows the truth: stay away at night. Do not stop for anything, and above all, when someone calls your name, do not answer. This is the story of Skinwalker Road, a place where shadows wear human faces, and voices search for new bodies to live in. Skinwalker Road, on the winding backbone of the Utah desert, a secret vibrates at night beside the road. People call it Skinwalker Road. This name isn't a myth, it's based on a real entity the Navajo people have whispered about for centuries: a spirit, a curse, a hunter. Skinwalker, the silent hunter of the Navajo. According to Navajo belief, a skinwalker is born when a shaman renounces goodness and worships power. By breaking sacred prohibitions, this person extends their life and completely abandons their human spirit. In return, they receive the ability to mimic another's face, the ability to transform into any animal, the ability to steal a human's voice, and worst of all, the ability to possess. Skinwalkers, they say, are not always called by a name. To speak their name is to invite them into your room. For this reason, even within the tribe, their real name is not spoken, for those who think nights can't see. Evil Skinwalker Road is a narrow stretch of asphalt in the Utah desert, notorious for its unusual traffic accidents. Along this road at night, people notice something in the glare of headlights: a shape that resembles a human form, but can't walk like one. A creature with a twisted body, limbs askew, and a head turned at an odd angle. As if it had miscopied the human form. When it sees an approaching car, it doesn't run. It just follows. It often speaks in a child's voice, and that voice always says the same thing: help me. Most drivers who want to be saved stop to help, but that's precisely the Skinwalker's goal: human compassion. What eyewitnesses say: several testimonies from Skinwalker Road at night have this in common. 1. The creature doesn't run, it suddenly becomes close. It appears far from the car's headlights, suddenly appears in the window. There's no running, no movement, no shadows. As if it had slipped from a torn reality. 2. There's no expression on its face. No eyebrows, no straight jaw. There's a smile, but it's skin, not muscle. 3. The lips don't move when it speaks, only the voice is heard. A human voice, but in an inappropriate tone. Let me in. Its name must not be spoken. Navajo legends tell of the strictest rule regarding the skinwalker: don't speak its name out loud. The moment a skinwalker hears its name, it follows that voice, whether in the Utah desert or halfway around the world. That's why some people whisper it even when they're alone at home. Mimicry, not imitation, but occupation. The most frightening aspect of the skinwalker isn't that it mimics a human voice. It uses that voice to draw people in, then it imitates that person. It deceives friends, family, and loved ones, and according to Navajo belief, the moment you think you know it, it's too late. Because the skinwalker's weakness isn't the body, but the identity. If you believe, you become it. If you fear, it possesses you. Military records and UFO researchers in the 1990s, due to the increasing number of paranormal events around Skinwalker Road, the area was officially investigated. The files reported entity sightings, animal mutilations, unidentified sound waves, and body deformations. Some researchers argued that the phenomenon was extraterrestrial, others suggested that it could be an entity summoned through Navajo rituals. Both sides agreed on this: this area is not normal. Why does it appear at night? Navajo mythology doesn't say that skinwalkers love the dark. On the contrary, darkness is our blindness. Night closes a person's eyes. This gives the skinwalker an advantage, because it doesn't move. It reflects. It uses darkness itself, not shadows. Don'ts of Skinwalker Road. Legend has it, if you see a figure on the road, don't stop, speak to it. If it calls to you in a human voice, don't answer. If it uses the voice of someone who knows you, don't look back, because at that moment, the creature analyzes you. It records your walk, your voice, your face, and the way to change you opens. True fear, continuity. Not story. The Skinwalker legend is not the story of a creature. It's about the rupture of identity, not of a soul caught between humanity and animality, of a mind caught between humanity and nothingness. The Skinwalker's existence touches upon this idea. Man becomes what he fears. And if his fear is intense, the transformation is swift. Today, night on Skinwalker Road. Still at night, a figure is seen in the middle of the desert. A different face each time, but the same wrong walk. Sometimes one leg is turned upside down, sometimes both arms extend to his kneecaps, but his face always reveals the same thing, a replicant trying to become human. And from afar, a child's voice, "Please, help me." You slow down. You blink, the figure disappears, then a whisper is heard. "Very close, too late. I learned your voice." Final note: the most striking aspect of the Skinwalker myth is that all these narratives stem not just from a culture of fear, but from the true faith of the Navajo people. For them, this myth is not just a story, it's an existential threat. For years, they've been repeating the same phrase, "Not knowing is what kept us safe." You want to know everything. And curiosity is sometimes the first step toward transformation. Part 1, A Curse with a Name. In Navajo tradition, there is no fear greater than a yi nalblushiai, a word that roughly translates to "with it, he goes on all fours." It is not a ghost, not a demon, and not a cryptid. It is a person who chose power over humanity, a former healer who broke sacred laws to gain forbidden abilities. Not knowledge, not magic, but transformation. Skinwalkers can mimic any animal, any voice, any face, but they never look quite right. Every form is a broken imitation, like clay molded by someone who has never seen a human. In Navajo culture, this myth is not entertainment, it is forbidden conversation. Elders rarely speak of it, and when they do, their tone is not playful. They speak with fear, and they never say the name out loud, because in their belief, speaking the name is calling it is inviting it. Part 2, Where the Road Begins. Skinwalker Road is a real stretch of highway cutting through the deserts of Utah. Dust storms pass over it like migrating ghosts, cell reception dies, and car engines fail without explanation. Trucks drift into the sand, tires explode, drivers disappear. Local police claim it is the heat, the weather, the isolation. The Navajos say something else. The one who walks is hungry. Reports of sightings go back decades, long before social media and internet myth-making. The earliest accounts from ranchers describe a human-shaped figure, crawling on all fours, but moving faster than any animal, not running, not jumping, just gliding across the ground with unnatural speed. One rancher wrote it was wearing the appearance of a man, but not the way a face fits a skull, more like a mask stretched too tight. His cattle were found mutilated days later, organs removed with surgical precision, no tracks, no blood, just emptiness. Part 3, The First Encounter. In the late 1980s, a traveler named Dean reported a strange event while driving alone after midnight. He saw a figure standing on the roadside, a young boy, barefoot, staring into the headlights. Instinctively, Dean slowed down. Something was wrong with the boy's posture, limbs too long, head tilted too far. Dean rolled down the window and shouted, "Are you okay? Do you need help?" The child didn't move, didn't blink, didn't breathe. Then the boy spoke, in a voice too calm, "I need a ride." Dean said his stomach twisted instantly, something primal inside him screamed run, but before he could drive away, the boy stepped forward, faster than a blink, and now, his face was inches from the glass, the mouth didn't move, but the voice spoke again. "I said, I need a ride." Dean slammed the accelerator. The creature chased him, not running, but appearing and disappearing along the roadside like a glitch in reality. He looked back only once, a mistake. He saw the figure standing in the middle of the road, arms dangling, head sideways, smiling. Part 4, The Nameless Rule. Skinwalkers do not hunt by strength, they hunt through fear. They feed on the moment a person believes the illusion is real, because belief is a doorway, and fear is the key. One of the oldest Navajo teachings says, if you recognize it, it recognizes you. This is why witnesses rarely talk about their encounters, not because they are embarrassed, but because they are terrified to speak the story aloud. To name it is to acknowledge it is to be seen. Some people move away, others go silent, a few vanish. Part 5, The Night of the Broken Voice. In 1994, a group of students drove through the area after a concert. 2 boys and a girl, tired, laughing, unaware. They parked on the roadside to watch the stars, but after a few minutes, they heard something scratching the outside of the car. Not claws, not rocks, fingers. They turned on the headlights. The figure they saw was tall and thin, with limbs angled wrong. Its arms hung low, almost touching the ground. It walked toward them, stiff and crooked, no expression, no emotion. One of the boys shouted, "What do you want?" At first, there was silence. Then from behind them, inside the car, a voice whispered, "I want your voices." The girls screamed. They sped off, kilometers away. They realized something horrifying. Their voices sounded different, not damaged, just wrong, as if someone else was speaking through them. The girl later said, "I don't think it wanted to kill us, I think it wanted to learn us." Part 6, The Shape of Imitation. Skinwalkers do not transform perfectly. Every imitation is flawed. Human faces appear stretched, melted, uneven. Eyes look drawn on. Smiles are too wide. Bodies bend in directions biology never intended. Knees backward, elbows reversed. Witnesses describe them walking as though they are learning how to use a human body. And when they speak, the voice is hollow, artificial, as if recorded. One witness said, "It spoke like someone who had heard a sentence once and was practicing it for the first time." They repeat words, repeat tones, repeat cries for help, because people are drawn to pity, and pity is just another kind of trap. Part 7, Modern Investigation. In the 2000, Skinwalker Road attracted paranormal researchers, cryptid hunters, and UFO investigators. Their reports describe unexplained animal mutilations, voices mimicking lost family members, invisible footsteps circling camps, sudden electrical failures, shadow figures stalking equipment. One team captured a thermal image of a creature crawling on all fours, with the heat signature of a human, but the limbs were bent at impossible angles. The creature stopped, turned, and stared directly into the camera, and then vanished. Not ran, not ducked, vanished, heat signature gone, instantly, as though reality cut out a frame. Part 8, Why They Hunt. Navajo elders teach that skinwalkers cannot create, they can only steal. They steal faces, voices, identities, lives. They do not kill to feed, they kill to replace, because their greatest hunger is not for flesh, but for existence, to live through someone else, to be remembered. A legend says, they will wear you until someone recognizes the lie, then they must hunt again. Part 9, The Road to Night. Today, Skinwalker Road remains remote, silent, uncomfortable. Locals warn tourists, if you see someone on the roadside, keep driving, even if it looks like a child, even if it cries for help, even if it screams your name, because sometimes it does scream names, names of people who are not there, names of people who are dead. And if you stop, if you open the door, if you look too long, it might learn your face, your voice, your walk, and tomorrow morning, when your family sees you, they might notice something small, a wrong smile, a wrong laugh, a hesitation before speaking, as if you are practicing, learning, remembering, and then, late at night, something might whisper in your bedroom, I learned you, now you're mine. There are myths born from fear, there are legends born from violence, and there are creatures born from the moment we stop being human. Skinwalker Road is more than a place, more than a story, it is a reminder that something ancient is still waiting in the dark, still changing, still watching, and it will continue to walk the night, for as long as we keep giving it faces to wear, fade out, whisper, help me.